Oh no, my mic wasn't turned on. Hello. Hi everyone. Today we were going to have a race. And I didn't talk. I might not have talked about it last. Aoi and Shadowrider have been wanting this race for quite a while now. Shadowrider is a really good player, so I'm interested to see how he's going to do today. But yeah, good morning everyone. How's everything? I'm a little bit tired. I went off to play dance games yesterday, so one of my first days back. So not feeling like super not feeling super awake, but I'll get back into it. Right now we're just spectating. I have Shadow Rider's window open, but he's not playing at the moment. But we're watching a Steno on the right doing an illiterate ascension run. So there are obviously some challenges posed there. I think he should be fine though. He's passed most of the difficult parts of that, I believe. But yeah, we see him on the plane of Earth. He's working on this run for a few days. He actually was one of the participants in one of our first races um, before. So, hello, Shadow Rider. We're gonna be starting in 8 minutes. So good luck to you. And I think Aoi will be along shortly too. So I'll be interested to see how the new changes play out. I've actually been working on like my ESA submission, so I've been playing my local version, which I haven't updated yet. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out. Hopefully, no one runs into any shocking spheres. I would be pretty disappointed if that would if that happens. Remember to drop your rings and wands. But let's see. I should probably post this to hard fought. Yeah. Do I edit our file? Oh shoot. Well, there's one thing I forgot. Just give me a second here. We still have like 5 minutes. Hello, Sorry about that. I was AFK for a little bit, but hello, Nabru and Twiggets. A mind flayer, sad face. So what happened? Oh crap. Why are there two of them? Yikes. Oh, for Steno. Did he die or mind flayed down to 3 ints? Yeah, that sucks. I stopped following his game for now because aoei seems to have logged in, but. Is there a way to edit seed RC file on hard fault website? I don't understand how this works in the terminal. So in the terminal, here actually, I might be able to show you. I don't know if I'm logged in here, but you would go to a seed menu and then edit options, and then you can just right click. You can just right click and then paste in the seed list, and that should work. Yeah, so if you right click, if you're on like command prompt or something, then yeah, you can just right click to see it is, and then I forgot how to quit. Okay, and then after that you can save and quit with :WQ. But yeah, let me know if you need any help. We're still gonna. Okay. Yeah, but I will be posting the seeds in about 2 minutes, and we'll get started. Okay, 3 minutes left. Can you quit? Can I quit yet? Yes. But yeah, let me know if you have any problems with that, and we'll get started in like another minute and a half or so. But this is exciting. I haven't done this. I haven't done this in a while. It's been at least a few weeks. I took a couple weeks off, and then after that, there were no more races. So it doesn't let you escape. Oh, you mean leave the terminal? Leave the RC file editor and save. So press :WQ. That should work. So that's how you exit the Vim editor. So learning Vim, whether you liked it or not. Okay, so it's 11. So I'm gonna drop the seeds and we're gonna start the timer. But hi, amateur hour. Yep, today we're or you might need to escape first, then :WQ, right? Sorry, I didn't realize that you hadn't learned. You didn't know how to add the seeds to your RC file. So then if I knew, then I could have tried to work it out before the race actually started. But now we wait for both of the competitors to enter their seeds into the RC file, and then we can start. Ali was actually working on a solution to this, but I don't think I got done for this race. It might be there if we have more races in the future. But yeah, learning Vim is very important. But LOL, I'm still a bit confused. Are you still stuck in the options? Are you still stuck in the options file? What's racing? When I press escape, it doesn't let me type in the command, just types in the file. Okay, press escape, then press :WQ to leave. Just use the web interface? Well, demo, we can't do that because K2 never put the seed K2 never put the seed RC on the list on hardfought.org, so it might be using nano or something instead of virus. Okay. How do you quit on nano? Is it like control X or something? Let me open up another window. There's several different like text editors you can use to edit your RC file. Clearly, this is a skill. I don't know. It seems to be virus. It seems to be virus whenever I press 1 to edit options or set seed. But yeah, you would press I to enter insert mode, and then after that you can type. You can type in stuff, or you can just right click to paste things in. Think I did it? Okay. But no, Twickets. On set seed options, it seems to be virus. I can't enter a nano there, so. But that's quite enough about that's quite enough about if it works, it works. I think about the text editors. But I wonder if aoei has actually managed to put in the seeds yet. It doesn't seem like it. Here we go. aoei is already started. uh, okay, let me PM aoei. Let me ping aoei in the Discord /IRC or whatever. Wait, what? Wait, are you sure? Wait. Is that a Wait, is that a lot of wishing? What? Hold on. Was that first seed that I picked totally randomly? Did it have a wand of wishing in it? What the heck? Well, that's certainly exciting. Because Shadow Rider has is in okay, if I can't believe it. I picked a WoW seed on the very first on the very first game. This is crazy. I hope both their runners are actually prepared for this. I know they've both done Wand of Wishing seeds before, but I promise I didn't set this up. I literally just generated the seeds like 5 minutes ago. So, but Shadow Rider actually got turned into a were rat just now, so we'll see if he's actually good to pray. I think if he hasn't prayed from the start of the game, he might be good. But yeah, aoei still has to kill this shopkeeper. We'll see how she decides to do it. Holy Ring of Polymorph using a poly kit, which is interesting, and also kind of a risky strategy for a race too, because of how like volatile it is. I mean, it is really powerful, but then you can also just and also by in the new update, because of the change to shocking spheres, if you're wearing like a Ring of Polymorph control all the time, you do risk getting that destroyed. So this is pretty epic. I have no idea. I had no idea this was going to happen. So I guess it was bound to happen in one of these races with all the games played. But yeah, then it's on a dungeon. The wand shop is on dungeon level 5. We see it in aoei's game there, and I don't know why Shadow Rider is going around as a were rat. He's drinking some water too to try to get nutrition. I think he might have prayed too early and might be screwing himself out of the seed right now, which is really unlucky. But Aoi uses all of the charges of the Wand of Wishing, which is a little bit surprising. Like I would have used some to try and try to go to the early quest, just like pick up like genocide or something. Oh, it looks like Shadow Rider is gonna quit. I think he might have prayed early in the game and then like ended up like anchoring his god or something like that. Otherwise he would have just gotten rid of the were rat. Oh, he quit. That's really unfortunate. And I think he's going to have to move to the. I think he's going to have to move to the second seed now. So this gives Aoi a pretty huge advantage, provided that she doesn't die. But the Wand of Wishing was just one level below him. He could have seen it. He could have gone down there and seen it. They successfully switched seeds. Okay. Hi, Tonehack. Thank you for the 5 month sub. Wow. I'm great. I'm grateful for your support. But we got a pretty exciting race today. I always found a Wand of Wishing on the first seed. But Shadow Rider managed to turn into a were rat somehow on the before just one level before the Wand of Wishing, and had to move on to the next seed. I don't know how he angered his god so early in the game. So, is the wand still guaranteed in the castle if you find one early? I would say, yeah, yeah. Obviously, there's still the Wand of Wishing in the castle. That doesn't change no matter how many Wands of Wishing you find on the floor. But yeah, that's crazy. I didn't expect to find a WoW seed. Like I said, these are just completely random. I literally just generated them 5 minutes, 5 minutes before this whole thing started. So wow. But yeah, I would use the WoW to pick up a poly kit, which is like I said, is an interesting choice. I don't know if it's the correct choice. I don't think I would use a poly kit when I'm running like Valk or something like that. I don't know if they need the help. But I was getting geared up for a pretty crazy. I was getting geared up for a pretty crazy race with both players having a Wand of Wishing, but unfortunately that isn't going to be the case right now. Unless the second seed also has a Wand of Wishing somehow, which Aoi's turn count has a turn count on her brain. Oh, absolutely. Trying to flex, but also getting a low turn count. I don't know what's going on. That opens up the potential for a really, really sick run, though. Might even be PB for Aoi. We'll see what happens. But but she used up the entire Wand of Wishing like right away, which is kind of a weird choice. But then again, like Shadow Rider has been a lot faster than Aoi in practice. So we'll see what happens. Is that seed updated with shocking sphere changes? Yes, yes it is. So we got some pretty nasty got those pretty nasty shocking spheres, and they might ruin Aoi's day if she decides to leave on the polymorph control, but we'll see what happens. Maybe she'll get a throne Geno for them, or both players will, who knows. What if Aoi's going to keep doing a Sokoban? I think she'll probably opt to skip it since she's already wished for the bag of holding. Don't worry, amateur. I wasn't gonna say anything that wasn't family friendly, but I have a few. I do like a lot. I do like most of the nerfs that have come out so far, like the conflict nerf. Not most of the nerfs, but most of the changes so far. I think some of them are not nerfs. Like the being able to enter the quest early is really, really interesting, and I think that should be investigated further in terms of like a turn count run. Even though it makes the game a lot harder whenever you do it. Like I don't know how you really survive with -10 luck. But it would be. I think it might be even an interesting choice here for Aoi. if she had considered like wishing for a wand of death, for instance, to kill the shopkeeper or something like that, which is what I would have done if I hadn't. Without the poly kit, that's probably the best way to kill the shopkeeper, huh? First try Excalibur, nice, nice. Looks like things are going to plan for Shadow Rider here. He's already picked up telepathy too. I saw that floating. I did not give a message there. For Wizard, maybe you consider Rev Geno Unicorns for luck for scroll riding, so maybe killing the quest leader is fine. Hmm, that's true, but you end up in kind of. I feel like in turn count runs, you end up in kind of a catch-22 because you want to have luck to write genocide, but then you also need genocide, so you want to find it on the ground somewhere. But I don't know. With the turn count, you do need a lot more luck than you do a real-time runner. Real-time running. Good morning, Machine Spray. Aoi getting the pick. Aoi getting the pickaxe for Aoi getting the pickaxe in the mines, which is pretty lucky. I think she's going down to Mine Town, which is a good idea. I might get a wish there. I think on the current world record, I do actually visit Mine Town. I'm gonna seriously consider skipping it if I have a wand of wishing later though, and later runs though, because it does take a couple minutes to get down there, and you can wish for a pickaxe. So in-game luck is just a crutch for IRL luck. I mean, you can get to a point with -10 in-game luck where you're just not going to be able to hit. Like you're gonna have a 0% chance of hitting. It's just like a flat modifier to your accuracy, right? Hi umpire. Yeah, Shadow Rider and Aoi asked me to do a race for them, a full Ascension race a few weeks ago, and I'm excited because I haven't done one of these in a while. But this is what we're doing today. Yeah, I figured. But I don't know. Shadow Rider's pretty good. So we'll see where Aoi has a huge advantage right now though. She's a wand of wishing, so we'll see how it goes. Different seeds. So yeah, Shadow Rider died on the first wand of wishing seed, which is really unfortunate. And he's gonna be really gonna be really sad to hear that, I think. But I don't think he's too far behind. But that may or may not change. Which altar is that? I'm not sure. Looks like Aoi also has speed boots. I'm not sure if she wished for those. I don't think she did. I was looking at her. I was looking at her wishes earlier. It doesn't make a lot of sense to wish for speed boots at that point in the game, really. Shadow Rider finding an oil lamp, so a little bit of a disappointment there. Maybe you can find something else good in this tool shop, though. Another oil lamp, a bag. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Did y'all see that? So, he was holding an unpaid item in the shop, and then he got trapdoored while holding the unpaid item, and then got his backpack stolen. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that was a trapdoor in the shop on top of the bag. I don't know how he's gonna get his stuff back. He's gonna have to kill that shopkeeper somehow. That's so unfair. Can that even happen? I think it's like okay, so the way that they generate Mine Town is that they generate a normal mines level first, and then they generate Mine Town on top of it. So sometimes you see like weird things like that. Like I have seen like shops like that before that have like traps like in like right in front of the door. I've never seen a trap like actually inside the shop though. That's really weird. God, I wonder if he still has his sword. Like, what the deal? What happened? What happens now? Like, I don't know what he lost. Hold on, let me. I actually have the game pulled up here with the curses window. It appears that he lost everything except for his sword and armor. I don't know I don't know what happens from here. He might be able to recover it later if he gets some wand that he can kill the shopkeeper with. Yeah, he's been getting really unlucky, especially with that with that were rat in the first game. I don't know. I don't even know what happened there because I missed the beginning of the game. But I think like maybe he prayed at around turn 300 or something like that. And oh, he just pissed off the watch. So yeah, you really don't want to attack those dwarves whenever you have like someone in sight like that, especially if he's going to plan to like return for some of those items, which I probably would. But Aoi's on back on D4 for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure why. Probably just coming back up from my town and deciding to explore a little bit, which is totally fine. But I think she does opt to skip Soko. Does opt to skip Soko here, so her next objective is probably Castle, since she didn't wish for Scrolls of Genocide to do the quest with. Luck-wise, the Shadow Riders game is the opposite of Stella. I think so, and honestly, I think the better player should win most of the time, like regardless of which is a weird, even like in a really luck heavy game like this. But so I would have been okay with just doing these races like totally unseated because of the way that I feel about that. But I know like it was people like it more whenever it's more like an even competition, I guess. But that's not we can't it's not always possible to do that, especially when I don't like the consequences of getting to play like one seed over again. I don't know. There's not really a good way around it. It's not like Shadow Rider didn't have the same opportunity for the Wand of Wishing. He did. He just like died before that somehow, which, like I said, I'm still kind of confused about it because he was on turn 1300. Like even if he had prayed on 300, must have gotten like a bad roll on prayer or something like that after that, or either that like anger to peaceful or something. But we have a Shadow Rider in right now. And Aoi is still exploring the dungeon. Back down to D9 though. So we'll see how she does in that. But she has a ring of conflict. Looks like a wish for that, and we'll see how well that does because a conflict was nerfed pretty recently, and I'm not sure like how effective it is right this. Sometimes you get rare luck like trapdoors in shops. I thought like traps don't normally generate in shops unless you're on the tourist quest. I thought there was something to prevent that from happening. But I've seen like trapdoors like right outside of a shop that prevents you from, but I've never seen a trapdoor like actually inside the shop. But Twigget, like I said, you do see that on the tourist quest. So that is the thing. That is the thing that happens in certain situations. But I think on the tourist quest, it happens on purpose. Okay, so Aoi found an altar on D12, sacrificing for holy water, most likely. Shadow Rider has about a 10-minute Sokoban time, so he should be finishing it up pretty soon. Let's see his inventory. I don't think he collected too many items before that. I thought like being getting your pat grabbed by a shopkeeper would actually grab Excalibur as well, but it seems like the shopkeeper didn't get Excalibur for some reason. But he doesn't have much. He has two rings. He has a few scrolls and a couple potions. We'll see if Aoi's decision to skip Sokoban pays off. I didn't see if she. I don't think she wished for a source of reflection. I'm probably hoping to get that from either the Castle WoW or Medusa, which makes me wonder if you can wield a shop item and steal it. I feel like they take wielded items, but I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know why Excalibur wasn't taken in that case. I know they can't take worn items, but you can probably steal. You can probably steal it that way. But the best way if you're stealing is probably to prevent them from grabbing your pack in the first place. But that requires kind of a larger shop, or you can. I think you can dig pits around them or something like that because they won't they won't venture into like they won't venture into dangerous areas. So I guess I do also repair the pits in the shop after a while. So I don't know. There's probably better ways to keep them from being able to grab your pack though, rather than allowing them to grab your pack and then trying to escape with the item after that. Isn't it just automatic? I didn't realize they actually had the path for you. Yeah, they actually do. They actually do need like a clear path to be able to attack you, to get to you, I guess. So a scroll of earth would also work to block that. If they don't have like a square to stand next to you, they can't actually grab it. It's funny though. We saw one year during either TNNT or Drew NetHack, whenever someone polymorphed, I think Build a Cat. Someone polymorphed the shopkeeper into a spotted jelly and completely immobile jelly. And because it had line of sight to the player, the jelly was able to ooze from several squares away and grab their pack. It was pretty funny. There's also a note in the source code about shopkeepers being polymorphed without arms who are still able to grab the pack, but it had something about like them dealing with it later. So I've assumed they've completely forgotten about it. Ooh, we see Shadow Rider doing the classic speedrunner maneuver of throwing Excalibur behind the boulder. So it looks like he did he teleport the boulder? Okay, that was kind of a risky move. That was kind of a risky move there. And it missed. Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do now because Excalibur is okay, okay. I thought Excalibur might have been teleported like past the hole or something like that, and then he would have been in like serious trouble there. Okay, yeah, he just teleported that boulder out of the way too. But if Excalibur like teleported like into the zoo or like that area behind the zoo, he would have been in a lot of trouble. Okay, yeah, but he managed to get through. We'll see what the Soko prize is. Aoi is on quest. Aoi's on quest level actually. Can't do anything there yet, obviously, but I think she's just working through the levels trying to find loot. I think loot is actually a lot less important now. 3.7 rather than 3.6 because in 3.6 like you really have to find magic mapping, otherwise you can't complete the speed run because you can't map Gehenna and try. But in 3.7, you kind of just use the Orb of Fate, so it doesn't really matter. But Shadow Rider kicking down the door, so that's gonna wake everything up. The dark blue on Aoi is so dark that it's triggering. Welcome, Adion. But are you talking about on the status line? Because yeah, that is pretty dark blue. I think Aoi's just scoping out the levels with telepathy. Probably going down to castle now. She has conflict, but I don't know how effective conflict is going to be. So she is charisma 9, like soldiers and sergeants. I'm not sure what their level is. I don't. Let's look it up on the NetHack wiki. Let's see. Okay, base level 6, 8, 6, 8, 8 for sergeants, 10 for lieutenants, and 12 for captains. Okay, we should be able to conflict those guys most of the time. So I think it shouldn't be too ineffective there. Status line is most obvious, but also on the quest level. Also, this is me just like spectating. It might look different on their terminal. Might be using like different colors. I'm not like totally aware of that. While I was distracted, it seems that Shadowrider obtained the Amulet of Reflection, which is cool. That's the most marathon safe item you can find, even though it's not exactly one that makes me. Where can I read through the recent changes? So Shadowrider, you want to go to the NetHack GitHub and start and look at like the most recent commits. Also in the roguelikes Discord, there's also a hashtag NetHack channel which posts whenever there's a recent commit and everyone talks about it. Thanks for the link, Adion. But yeah, Shadow Rider leaving Soko at about 20 minutes, which is not too bad. I think that's still quite a good pace and still on pace to ascend in under 2 hours. We'll see if aoei does manage to come close to or beat her PB with this Wand of Wishing. She's 26 minutes in, and on D21 headed to Castle. So I think she'll end up doing well because of the number of low level monsters at Castle that'll be conflicted. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So the new conflict change I can explain is based. It's no longer based on a monster MR. It's based on your charisma and the monster's level versus yours. So that leads to some interesting situations because there were a lot of monsters before, like Master Mind Flayers, for instance, that were pretty much immune to conflict. You could never hit them with conflict, but now you can. And but also conflict was nerfed a little bit. It's changed so that you and the monster have to be able to see each other, and so that's a big restriction because monsters can't see you if you're invisible. So that makes conflict and invisibility pretty much a one or the other. There are a few monsters that see invisible actually, but I think the list is very small. It includes angels. So if you're invisible on like Astral, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Let's see. See invisible. Normally this doesn't matter, so I don't have this memorized either. We got angels, mind flayers, stalker. For some reason, the Sasquatch can see invisible. Cool. Okay, I'm not gonna question it. I'm not gonna question it. Aoi status line is like a fruit salad. We have all the colors. Shadow Rider is like vanilla ice cream. I don't really get the point of players having like different colors for higher and lower stats. I mean, I guess it looks a little fancier, but I mean, you know what your stats are. So I've never actually added that to my RC file, but Aui's on D23. Still hasn't managed to find the castle yet. No. Shadow Rider getting Mjolnir here. I guess that would, or not me. Already got Mjolnir actually. Got Dragon Bane. He already has Reflection though, so Dragon Bane is really. Maybe he already got or genocided. He already got or generated. Yeah, he got the two gifts in pretty rapid succession. I don't know why he's necessarily altar farming here though. It would be good to pick up holy water, but there's not that much reason to try to get luck right now. And are we going for Master Mind Flayer form? Probably to take out probably gonna fly over and take out Medusa here. But needs to pick up the Shield of Reflection first. And Medusa's in that top left corner there, so she's gonna go over to the right and pick up the Shield of Reflection from the statue of Perseus. Yeah, I think it's always a good idea to drop a sacrifice on the altar though, just to check and make sure it's safe to pray because the prayer timeout can go as high as like 3,000 turns if you're really unlucky. Okay, Aoi picks up the polished silver shield. Usually, if I have a wand of wishing, I don't actually stop by Medusa at all, and I don't know. Medusa can be a pretty slow area to navigate, especially there's this variation that has electric eels in it. Like that one, you have to be especially careful because they can break your rings, obviously, including your ring of levitation that you're probably using to cross a Medusa. So I've died that way at least once before. Okay. Aoi blanked some scrolls of identify. You probably want to identify the wand of wishing. The wand of wishing that you're gonna get at the castle, but Aoi's still on a decent pace. 30 minutes. Probably gonna finish castle around like 35 or 40. Depends on how long she stays here and decides to dilute stuff. But Shadow Rider going pretty much straight down. I think he does like to explore most of the dungeon to try and get loot, but I don't know if he has anything to beat the castle with right now. I think his best chance to beat Aoi would be to beat Aoi's advantage would be to dig down as soon as he gets something to do that, like a bugle or something like that. So he just cleared out a beehive there. I do like doing that, and I do it on my runs because of like the fact that smaller enemies don't drop like really huge items like banded mail. They're totally yeah, they often drop like scrolls and potions and stuff like that. So I think that's cool, and also the royal jelly can really help you heal, which can be useful in a pinch sometimes. Like when you're at the castle and you really don't have time to sit around, it actually heals a decent amount of health. All right, so Aoi's at the castle at 33 minutes. Let's see what she ends up doing. Has a bugle, so I think she might try the pass tune instead of using conflict to try and fight her way through. I still think conflict is faster than trying to figure out the the passcode necessarily, but I'm not 100% about that. I might just be stupid and obviously I don't know the optimal strategy for completing mastermind. It looks like either Aoi AFK'd for a minute or okay, yeah, it looks like Aoi AFK'd for about a minute. So we'll see when she comes back how she decides to deal with Castle. But Shadow Rider, hopefully he can get some good luck here with this throne. A little bit, it doesn't seem to have gotten it. I think he will clear out most of this throne room though, gain something useful to him potentially. But he seems to have identified the scroll of teleport, which is pretty important, and usually the reason why I clear out rooms like this too. Because if you know it, even if you don't have it, you might be able to write it at the castle later. Because you need a way to get off the castle level, and a lot of times you don't have levitation, and you don't really don't want to walk back. So this they're actually not that far. They're actually not that far apart though. Shadow Rider manages to get something to beat the castle with. I don't think I don't. I think they'll be pretty close to even. He does play a little bit faster than aoei on average. I think right now he has a better PB. So, Shadow Rider's PB is 149, I think, and aoei's is 152. So let's see how this goes. I think one interesting thing that Box said about on NetHack was that on average, he said that most on NetHack games, about 50% of them have an extra wand of wishing, and I wonder like what the percentage is for a normal NetHack games, because obviously a NetHack has new branches. It also has the black market, which can pretty easily contain an extra wand of wishing. So okay, it looks like aoei is clearing out most of the sharks in the boat before deciding what she's going to do. There seems to be a cockatrice in one of the castle rooms. Went for dinner. What did I miss? Shadow Rider completed Sokoban, not without a hitch. He kicked down the Soko Zoo, and now he's proceeding down further into the dungeon for now. Aoi is still on her Wand of Wishing run and just arrived at the castle, so they're not too far apart, despite the Wand of Wishing. Aoi is sucking those brains like Dyson sucks my breadcrumbs off my floor. That's gotta not suck the brains of that cockatrice in there. Like I definitely saw one in there, and I don't know. I think she probably saw it too. But that's definitely a run ender right there. But yeah, Aoi has a pretty deep castle too. That's a D28 castle. I wonder if deep castle necessarily means deeper. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter for these runs, I guess. Like adding a few extra levels to the game doesn't necessarily make it a whole lot slower, I don't think. What strategy do I use for the drawbridge tune? So yeah, I go like I guess every letter, and then after that, like you can make partial guesses to try and figure out the order. I think that's pretty fast, and I would rather not have to pull up the Soko Sol. I would rather not have to pull up the Mastermind Solver in the middle of a race. I use a dirty external tool, the grid bug site solver. Yeah, that's what I don't do. That's what I would like to avoid. But unfortunately, the optimal strategy for solving Mastermind is too complex for a human to do it reasonably. Okay, yeah, Shadow Rider got inventory ID, partial though. He doesn't have anything too interesting, unfortunately. It looks like Aoi managed to kill the cockatrice and picks up the cockatrice corpse, puts it in the bag. Smart move. And managed to get the Wand of Wishing. So first one to get the Wand of Wishing at about 40 minutes. So not too bad. We'll see what she decides to do with that. She has one more scroll of identify that she's probably going to use to formally identify the wand. Too. You really don't want the wand to be cursed, and you also want to know how many chargers are. think it's good to formally identify these. Oh, Shadow Rider taking a death to that elf noble right there. I think he underestimated it at about 30 HP, and he just charged in. Oh, but that's a rip. About like 35 minutes into, I don't know if he had anything to beat the castle with. I can check the dump log. I'm kind of interested in what happened there. Hold on, I'm looking at the dump log right now. Sure, let's see what he had. Okay, he had some pretty average equipment. AC -5, so he didn't really have any good escape items, which is why he probably tried. Oh, but he did have the tele wand in his bag. That would have allowed him to escape, but he moves towards the elf lord instead, which is unfortunate. Elf nobles do not play in the slightest. Do they have two weapon attacks? I want to say they have two weapon attacks. Uh, Elf Lord. Yep, they have two weapon attacks. 2d4, 2d4, and that's gonna hit pretty hard with an Elven Broadsword, especially. Aoi just try to write a scroll of marker. But yeah, she has wishes for days indeed, but whenever I do these runs with an extra wand of wishing, it almost feels like it's never enough. But of course the race isn't over yet. Aoi still has to not choke in the late game, which is easier said than done. So we'll see what happens. It might end up being a close race again. Okay, Shadow Rider died to a giant bat. Okay, we'll wait for him to put in the next seed. Aoi is wishing for teleport intro conflict, magic resistance, reflection, so pretty much everything you need. There might be a couple other things that I want, but nothing right at the moment. Probably just needs genocide to try and go on the quest right now. I don't know if she's oversatiated from being a mind flayer though. That might be a problem. My impression of Shadow Rider is that they're a relatively new player that happens to be impressively quick. Yeah, they are pretty new to the game. They've only been playing for a few months, but seems to have like watched how other people do it and like, just studied it pretty well, and then managed to replicate a lot of the strategies, like throwing Excalibur behind a boulder. Like that is a really bad habit of mine. You should really check. You should really check with telepathy before you do that. Because it might be a really high AC monster, and you might just lose Excalibur. So he is very fast, and I think he definitely had the advantage in this race. Um, if he had found that wand of wishing, it's I think it would have been really cool if he did, but it's unfortunate that he didn't. Aoi turning into a vampire lady to try to eat some race. The race are really dark blue, so I can't really see them too well. But hits experience level 14 and is going on the quest. Ideally finishes quest at like 50, which is really good. 50, you're still on like sub 130 pace. So might be a new PB. It depends on how quickly she does Gehenna. Like everything really do Gehenna. Gehenna is like the worst part of the game. Even for speedrunners. It's where everyone loses time, even I think in future they're gonna get some epic times more consistently. Yeah, you gotta make all the dumb mistakes first. And it's easy. It's really easy in NetHack to make dumb mistakes, and there are a lot of dumb mistakes to make. I was just looking at the high score table earlier for set scene, and yeah, you see a lot of deaths, like really like late game deaths from me. Yeah. Would you say Gehenna is literally hell? Yeah, it kind of is. Looks like Aoi. Looks like Aoi in the final level of the quest must have level ported down there. So maybe even like a 45 minute quest completion, but yeah, she's using the Ring of Conflict. Seems to be working pretty well against these ants at least. Like 2 days ago, I died to the bits of drawbridge that shoot out when destroyed. Oh, you mean like the iron chains? Like, you serious? I don't actually know how much damage those do. Like when they hit you. Or are you talking? I know the iron chains don't insta kill you, but well, there's two different things. I mean, there's the dying from the drawbridge being destroyed that's separate, but the missiles that fly out, the iron chains don't actually kill you, and they can fly out. They can fly out a lot farther than like where exactly the squares that you die on. But yeah, the insta kill is a pretty normal. The insta kill is a pretty normal way to die. I've been there, done that. And wow, we actually have a speedrunner entering the double shop. I'm very impressed. Shadow Rider finding the it's a special room that I think Aostick made it. It has a weapon shop and an armor shop. And it's pretty cool because it can allow like 3 or more shops to generate on the same. Pretty interesting. I think this is the first stream that I caught. Just started to find NetHack players. Hello, Lithardraw. Yeah, we play a lot of NetHack around here. I do plan to play other games, I swear. But right now I'm playing a lot of NetHack. Well, we see Shadow Rider praying immediately after he got feverish. I think that may have been what happened in the first game. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the TTY rec or something. But if you pray immediately right after you get like werewolfed or whatever, you might be in trouble because you can just immediately get werewolfed again. But he's gonna sacrifice on this altar for a bit, like maybe to wait out the prayer timeout again before going back down. I think that's what he's trying to do at least. But he's pretty low level, so actually failing here. Actually failing here to convert the altar, but Aoi acquired the Bell of Opening at 46 minutes and entered Gehenna only 2 minutes later. So this is definitely a one. This is definitely a 130 pace run, and we're only at. She's only at turn 5,000 too, so this might even be sub 10K. So that would be a pretty nice flex actually. Right now the world record is 50. Right now the world record is 52 minutes 51 seconds. It can actually go way lower than that, and I do plan on grinding that out eventually. Maybe after, maybe during the summer. I don't know, but I just finished polishing up some like speedrun submissions and stuff like that. So I've been pretty busy with that and not actually making any videos or playing or doing a lot of other stuff that I would like to be doing. But are we going to your standard Valley +8, looking for Vlad? There's a lot of things that can go wrong in Gehenna though, so we'll see. We'll see how well she manages to do here. But so far, looking like a very very impressive run. Yeah, rip Shadow Rider. He died to Ant and Alpha Zombie, I think. NetHack is cruel and unforgiving, as we all. Killed by an elf zombie while praying. Yep. I think it was not yet safe for him to pray. Aoi has AC -8 in Gehenna. I think that's pretty good for a speedrun. Like, the most you usually end up with is around -10. If you read a lot of enchant armor, you can get higher than that. But I'm pretty comfortable. I'd be pretty comfortable with -10. It would be a little bit hard. So she has a cockatrice corpse. That's also really good for speeding through the Vlad fight and possibly the wizard if she can wake him up. But yeah, it looks like she's in Vlad's tower right now. Is going to teleport to the top and fight Vlad with the cockatrice corpse, killing him instantly if you can get a hit. Looks like Vlad has a wand of lightning. So I've seen that. I've seen it. I've seen him pretty much kill himself with it before. He's not like a lot of other like vampire lords. He's not actually immune to. He's not actually immune to like elemental attacks. So, but in this case, it doesn't really matter. I don't know if Aoi has a unicorn horn though. He's walking around blind for a little bit. Drained her, but she got it back. Yeah, level doesn't really matter except for conflict in this case. So I wouldn't worry too much about losing a level too. Shadow Rider finding a polished silver shield on the floor. That's a good. About to die to a rabbit rat though. And a were creature coming in. Oh, he's having a terrible luck with these were creatures. These runs. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the phase of the moon is. It could cause aware creatures to be in animal form more often. The moon is waning gibbous, new moon in 10 days. Okay, so it's no longer full moon, it looks like. Yeah, that was a pretty close scrape. That was a pretty close scrape for him. But yeah, he's been getting pretty bad luck with those guys during this run. But are we getting mind sucked by a master mind flare? That's actually going to lose a pretty. That actually can lose like quite a bit of time, especially if she doesn't have especially if she doesn't have a unicorn horn because after the crystal ball buff, your roll to actually activate a crystal ball is a D8, and if you're int 6, sometimes you will fail that. Sometimes you are going to fail that roll and start hallucinating. But Shadow Rider getting insta killed by poison there—that's pretty unlucky. Wow. Yeah, like an Urkai shot like one arrow at him and dead. And the poison arrows don't check magic cancellation either, so yeah, it's really not his day today. Poison insta death is fair and balanced. I don't know. It could happen to Aoi if she didn't pick up poison resistance somewhere, like some random like bone devil or something. It's definitely happened to me before, or even like a spiked pit in Gehenna can cause you a lot of trouble. But okay, Aoi on Orcus's level. We're only 54 minutes in, so this looks like a pretty sick run actually. If you allow 20 minutes, you want to allow a 20 minutes for the Ascension run, so this is looking like possibly like a 120 or something. Something really sick, actually. It can affect everyone, so it's fair and balanced. Unfortunately, there's no good way to put the same monsters on each level during a NetHack race. I think like I saw a set seed patch on like Bilious or something like that, and it does do that, but doesn't like a hacky way where it guesses like what level you're supposed to be when you reach that point, and I think that's kind of silly. to be perfectly honest. Yeah, Aoi needs to stop messing around with Orcus here because he can cause he can cause some pretty dangerous situations. I don't know what she's doing here really. Trying to get away at the moment. I think she's successfully gotten away for now, but she chose not to go up the stairs and is trying to kill him. Manages to get the kill. If she saw Demogorgon, that would have been a really bad. That would have been really unlucky, but fortunately she didn't. Throwing, maybe. I think she may have picked up not gain level, an amulet of life saving from Orcus from I can't talk. She might have picked up an amulet of life saving from Vlad's tower, so I think like dying here isn't going to matter too much. Oh, we see a flaming sphere there explode and blow up her scroll of teleport. So far, I know shocking sphere nonsense though. So Garyon killed by Aoi. I forgot how strong Master Mind Flayer form is. I just one shot Lord Surtur. Yeah, that's something absurd, like an extra 5d10 damage from the brain sucking attacks. It's just reduced whenever something's actually wearing a helmet. And also against enemies that don't have brains, they don't take any extra damage, unfortunately. That's the other thing about using the Orb of Fate to map levels. Aoi just took a lot of damage there, just using the Orb of Fate on the stairs. And I've died that way before too, because using the Orb of Fate will paralyze you for a few turns. I think it's like D10 turns or something like that. So you can actually take a lot of serious damage that way. But Shadow Rider is he's back in Mine Town. I'm not sure if he checked out his checks. I see a couple lamps in there. I'm gonna assume there's nothing interesting in there because he had the money to buy everything, but chose not to. But Aoi's in the Wizard's Tower, probably gonna level port up here. She could have done she could have used a Master Mind Flayer form to aggro him from outside the tower, but I think that's pretty unreliable from the few times that I've tried to use it. Usually I just end up hitting the eels and the krakens and stuff outside of his tower. Okay, but Aui's on the he she managed to get right into the wizard's tower, so 58 minutes. We might be looking at a 120 ascension here. That would be pretty huge. Or at the very least, it should be sub 90 for her. She started not soon after I started the timer, so she was quite prepared. Of course, it's always possible that she chokes somewhere on the ascension run or something like that. I think death is pretty threatening on that. Death is pretty threatening on Astral now, so there's definitely ways you can find to die in the end game. Even with an ammo of life saving potentially. But she does have the 1/2 wand of wishing, so I might be able to save her life later. I got up to get food when Aoi was in Vlad's. What did I miss? So yeah, Aoi's in Wiz Tower now, looking to win. On pace for on pace for a sub 90 minutes. That would be a pretty clean personal best for her by well over 20 minutes, I'd say. So quite an improvement. Probably the first successful WoW run she's done. She's done a couple others that died somewhere in the end game, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But right now she's waiting. She's waiting for the Orb of Fate to actually recharge and give her back the level teleportation, so she can get down to the vibrating square. Or she's not gonna wait and just gonna write cursed Telly because she's sick of waiting. Okay, that's also fine. That's also fine. So there you see the Orb of Fate is too much to comprehend. That's gonna waste a few. That's gonna waste a few charges because she got a Mind Flayed earlier. So even after the Mind Flayer changes, you really still want to stay away from those guys. I still zap them with the Wand of Death. I didn't realize how crippling it was until later, but it's actually pretty bad. Shadow Rider's cleared Mine Town. This looks like an okay game, but he's kind of low in both strength and constitution. Does end up, which does end up like sucking later down the line. I think the initial Wand of Wishing game was not like super high on strength or constitution either, but we just wished for a bag of holding, so I think that solves most of those problems except for the HP problem. But are we wishing for Helm of Opposite Alignment? That'll save a little time, but not too much time after the Mysterious Force nerf, especially. It was epic demo. Both players ascended and started a second game. Imagine having enough time for round two. That would be fun. But if Aoi sends in the next, Aoi did the invocation, so if Aoi sends in the next 20 minutes, then I guess the stream ends in the next 20 minutes. New speedrun time of 5 minutes. Seems nice. Hey, if I allowed Bones demo, maybe we would actually see that. I did tell you about the time I got an 11-minute speed. I got an 11-minute speedrun time with Bones, right? Yeah. In any case, Bones are stupid and they completely destroy the game. So I'm never going to support that format. Ali's got to throw for content so we can hang out longer. Actually, I don't want Aoi to throw for content because I actually haven't recorded the tiles part of the my ESA submission, and I was planning to do that after the race. So I'm hoping Aoi doesn't throw here. But also it's her PB. It's gonna be a PB run if she doesn't throw. So that's another reason why you should be rooting for her. But she looks like she's in really good shape. Let's see your inventory. We got an amulet called Life. We got water walking. We got speed boots. We got pretty much everything you could possibly ask for in a run like this. So looking really, really good here. Making her way down to Sanctum. Let's see if she has any trouble here. Probably not. I wouldn't expect to, but the priests are. I think the priests are decently high level. They're either like level 12 or level 14, so they would resist conflict pretty well. But they already did resist conflict pretty well prior to the update because of their magic resistance. They have about 50 magic. Rip, scroll, and wall. Yeah, that's never coming out of the wall on Novelith. That's probably going to be like a scroll of teleport or create monster or something like that. Shadow Rider back in Soko. He's burdened because of the low strength and constitution, though. Maybe he'll find a bag of holding here. I don't know about that. But are we going into the room with the priest? Let's see. Let's see how she does here. I see quite a few priests in there, taking a lot of damage. Wow, that just depolyed her straight up. Oh, actually, that did less damage than I thought it did. It was mostly the blasting damage from Excalibur. But hopefully she's wearing free action and doesn't get paralyzed here. She doesn't. By that gel cube there, it keeps getting. I saw it just get like revived or something. Maybe something I found undead turning. Yeah, it looks like she's wearing free action. Ooh, going for the amulet here. I think she should probably bugle some of these ants. They really are slowing her down. Oh, eating the high cleric's brain is cannibalism. Oh, wait, why the blast? Oh, wait. She forgot to put on polymorph control and just zapped Polly at herself, so it became a gray dragon, breaking her. So this is probably the worst place to make. This is probably the worst place to make that mistake. So things just got a little bit interesting. At least she still has magic resistance for being a gray dragon, but these priests are gonna mess her up really bad. Might even burn life saving here. Let's see how she manages to escape. So thinking about it for a minute, which is probably a smart choice. Trying to bugle. She has a wand of teleport, so using it to teleport them away. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. They slammed their teleport control ring. That doesn't matter anymore. That doesn't matter. You don't need that. You don't need that on the way up. Like it's already served its purpose, really. Like it helps a little bit, like if you want to teleport to the stairs, but you can just walk. It doesn't lose that much more time. There goes a wand slash rings. Let's see what rings she has still has left. She still has polymorph control, conflict, free action. She still has everything important. So I'd say that's not actually a huge loss. She can still go on from here and win. Significantly worse AC though because of the scales. I don't know if she can just write another enchant armor though if she still has like wand of wishing and like markers and stuff like that. But free action and knowledge is important. It was important for that one specific scenario. I don't consider it essential. I never said that. In fact, I never said anything good about free action in the first place. I don't know what you're talking about. Careful. That was an exciting moment, but she's I think she managed to fight her way out of it. She's back at it. I think using the new since she has conflict on, I think using the new conflict rules, you actually need to be able to see monsters in order to conflict them, which sucks because that means you actually need to use a light source here, which is a little bit weird. Okay, so yeah, Aoi's back at just picked up the amulet of Yendor. She's back at intelligence 8 too, which is good because earlier she got intelligence drained as a mind flare, so that doesn't actually translate. That whenever you lose stats in a polymorph form, it's not permanent. You'll gain back the stats whenever you depoly. So it wasn't as bad as it appeared. That's true. You do have a guaranteed light source at this point in the game. It just depends on where you want to use it. I wonder if they fixed that bug where fire traps can light up the candelabrum of invocation yet. That was a really annoying bug, and that's why I usually use the in 3.7. That's why I usually use the candelabrum in Sanctum. Okay, I just saw her stash a bunch of items. I don't see a wand of cancellation, so she has a blessed scroll of enchant armor. It would be a good idea to use that right now. I think that's what she might have in mind. Fortunately, the Grey Dragon scale mail isn't like over enchanted or anything, so she should be able to enchant it back to scale mail pretty safely. Sokoban speedrun? Yeah, we've actually done Sokoban and Mine speedruns before on Novelith. I don't know if you were here for that. The world record for the Soko Mine speedrun is 8 minutes 30 seconds. It's actually surprisingly difficult since you have pretty much nothing to work with besides like your starting items, and I think Monk is actually the best role for that, but getting a bit off topic there. It's okay. Aoi's just doing some inventory management, so I don't think anything is I don't think much is happening over there right at this minute. So now she has to get back up. So it is looking at about a 130 ascension. Depends on how fast she does the rest of Gehenna's. We'll see. We'll see how fast she manages to get out of Gehenna here. Looks like one of the priests managed to escape upstairs somehow. Maybe he drank like curse gain level or something. That's still a little bit annoying. Okay, well, Shadowrider is back in Sokoban, so if Aoi manages to die in Ascension Run, good spot. But there's a troll in there. I think that might kill him. That might kill him if he's not careful. But how are you now heading back up through a lot of unexplored levels? We'll see. We'll see how much she gets harassed by the wizard. There's one. Just needs to zap the wand of death now. You get the blasting thing now. Yeah, that's because she's chaotic and Excalibur is lawful, so it's gonna blast her every time. Also, the Orb of Fate too. That's also a lawful artifact. Well, strictly speaking, it's a neutral artifact, but it's lawful for the purposes of the game. Sorry, I have to be technically correct there. Whenever I was commenting on some of my like marathon commentary videos, like when I asked for some feedback from some other NetHack players, and they were all like, "Oh, you got this little tiny detail wrong. Whenever you read a cursed scroll of teleportation, then it can actually take you 2 levels below like where you were wanting to go." Ha. Okay. So yeah, I have to try to be more correct about those details. I know it bothers people. Yeah. Okay. So Shadow Rider picks up the bag of holding. I think the bag of holding is the quicker of the two prizes, so I do like it, even though it's strictly less safe. The devil is in the details. Yeah, you say the devil is in the details, not the demon details. So, oh, it looks like Aoi getting paralyzed there. I don't know why she's not wearing free action. Like, I don't know what rings you would be wearing at this point. Like, probably like conflict and poly control, I guess. I don't think it matters too much that she's a polymorph for this ascension run, though. Actually, it does because that's gonna be the only way she has to cross water besides the water walking boots. Ideally, she wants to keep speed on and then cross Jubilex with the Mind Flayer 4. So I don't know if her Wand of Polymorph got destroyed or not. No, she still has it. The 2/4 Wand of Polymorph. Should be able to recharge that again too. But at 114, let's see. Shadow Rider did some dilution. He put on a cloak of invisibility. Seems to be doing okay in this game. With the bag of holding, he's still burdened though because of the splint mail. Fortunately, I don't see any items that he has that can potentially clear the castle though. So So we'll see. We'll see what progress he manages to make there. Aoi canceling some scrolls, doing more inventory management. I think she has enough like blank scrolls and stuff like that. I don't think you need very many more at this point, especially since using the Orb of Fate like saves so many scrolls in the first place. And 366, you would need a lot of blank scrolls to write magic mapping. You would also need a ton of marker charges for that. So I ended up with a lot of dead runs because if you have nothing and the wand is 0-1, you might not have enough marker charges for that, which really sucks. I was still on D36 at about a minute and 16 on my timer, about a minute and 15 on her timer. If she does manage to finish in under an hour and 30 minutes, that's going to be a lot faster than the other race time that I had with her. So very impressive. Shadow Rider is not going to eat that Tengu corpse. I feel like I would. I feel like I would gamble a little at this point in the race, but we'll leave. Well, we'll leave him to his own devices. Besides, he doesn't seem to have like have that. He hasn't had like too much of a bad luck on this run though. I don't think. We'll see. We'll see what happens on his run while we wait for Aoi to finish her inventory, some more of her inventory management, I guess. Trying to recharge the Orb of Fate and get out of Gehenna. Aoi still has to bribe some of the demon lords since she skipped them earlier. So if she doesn't remember to put away Excalibur, that could waste a little bit of time. But here's Jubilex. Needs to be Mind Flare. Needs to be a Mind Flare here in order to cross. I think you might be able to cross on foot, but might be kind of a pain. I don't know if that level in particular is. I don't know if that level in particular you can walk across it without water walking boots. There might be a way. But Aoi and Bowsybub's lair. I think we saw Gary. Someone said we saw Gary on earlier, so I'm gonna assume that was from him because this is the shallower. This is usually like the deeper of the two, actually, between Asmodeus and Bowsybub. Although I think they can appear in either order. Yeah, I don't quite recall the exact level ranges for them. Okay, bribed Bowsybub. Okay. Ooh, but Shadow Rider finding a barracks here. He might be able to get a bugle to try and complete the castle with. To maybe come back if Aoi does end up choking on Astral or somewhere. Shadow Rider taking out the soldiers first, which is pretty smart because the soldiers can't carry bugles and can't wake up other soldiers. So that's definitely a good move. I don't think he did manage to get the bugle there, which is unfortunate. I don't know what the chance for them to spawn with the bugle is. I think it's a 1 in 3 chance. That is what I wanted to. That is what I wanted to say, but I don't know for sure. If someone could check the source for me, that would be nice. I only trust the source. Well, sometimes weird things get written on the wiki, so I'm not 100% sure of that. There's also a lot of weird things about soldiers too in general, like soldiers being given a target AC and then after that they try to hit it instead of just having a flat AC. Yeah, it's 1 in 3. Okay. Mom gets bugle. R in 2 3. Yep. Cool, thanks. So he only had it's about the same chance of getting dragon. It's like exactly the same chance as getting dragon skills then. So okay, so Shadow Rider getting the wish for Gray Dragon Scale Mail. No, misspells it a little there. I still need to update sources to 366 and such wiki wide. Honestly, I would wait until 3.7 release to actually do that because I feel like it may happen. I feel like it may happen at some point, and the fact that the source is still being updated right now means that correct all the time. I don't know. I'd wait until development slows down a little bit. Right now, we're right now we're in like a pretty crazy time for NetHack. Honestly, NetHack development has never been so active, and I do enjoy most of the changes. If Pax is watching somehow, I really do like most, except for the shocking sphere change. That one sucks. I don't think either player actually got the chance to kill their quest leader. That comes with some really, really, really significant drawbacks, though, especially for this kind of run. You're pretty much not going to get any. You're not going to make any useful melee attacks for a while. I'll just say that. Aoi just lost a bunch of items to her shocking sphere. Oh, really? Oh, my bad. Let's see what she lost. Oh, she only has conflict left. Oh, shoot, that's terrible. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's really bad. Hopefully, she didn't have her wand of wishing out. But I guess conflict is all you really need. She already had telecon. She already lost a telecon at some point, so you don't really need teleport control at this point. Like I've said, having polymorph control is also nice, but she also lost wand of wishing. Oh, that's wow. Okay. I do see that that was a mistake on her part then, carrying that wand of wishing in open inventory like that. Probably used to being a little bit reckless with it. Right now she's exploring this Gehenna level like manually actually, so Shadow Rider is fighting a Minotaur. That's a really bad idea. Okay, yeah, he just died. Probably saw his like AC -10 and got pretty overconfident. But you really don't want to fight Minotaurs without half physical damage. You're pretty much going to lose. Okay, but Aoi, despite losing the Wand of Wishing, Aoi is out of Gehenna, so the worst is pretty much over here. I think for her, just needs to get to D1, survive the planes and Astral, which I think is possible. But yeah, rip Shadow Rider. He's not having a good day today. Put in lots of practice for this. Put in lots of practice runs for this race too. But definitely we saw some mistakes. We saw some bad luck as well. So a lot of things happened today. You need a pretty bonkers AC to fight a Minotaurus comfortably. You can fight them with zero. You just really don't want to run up. You want to like weaken them with something first, like maybe like a wand of cold or an attack wand or something like that. This is not how I was hoping today to go. Sorry to hear that, Shadow Rider. You missed something really. I don't know if you've been listening to the stream. I guess like it would take it would take some pretty serious nerves to be able to listen to commentary on your run as you're doing it. But but yeah, you had some seriously bad luck on that first run earlier today. But yeah, don't get. It's not quite over. It's not quite over yet. Aoei's on the Ask run, but there aren't any promises made yet. She hasn't reached. God, nothing is certain until Aoi has ascended. So, all right, looks like he's started another game, but really, this can happen to anyone. So, yeah, it looks like Aoi's lost a lot of stats doing a self polymorph too. I feel like your stats go down on average. I really do want to say that, but I don't know if it's. I don't think it's actually true, but it definitely feels that way. I think your stats do go down though because most of the time you're pretty close to the cap, and so since you can't go above the cap, it's just gonna go down from there. At least Aoi still hasn't used up her life saving yet, but still have that 050 marker. That should be enough to carry her until the end of the game, despite not having the Wand of Wishing. Wizard immediately double troubles. Misses. He can do a lot of damage, especially if he decides to dodge it a whole lot of times. But going down to 48 HP, 11 HP. Burned life saving. Okay, those are just random nasties. Conflict is less effective now, and I think that's definitely showing, especially if she's wearing it. Going down to 65, 72 HP. I don't know why she's taking so much damage. Does she still have the Orb of Fate? I think she just used it to map the levels, so maybe though it's possible that the wizard stole it and I didn't notice. It picks up the cockatrice corpse. I think it's because she's burdened, perhaps, that she's taking so much damage. AC gone down to -7 too, so not amazing. She still have Orb of Fate. Yeah, that's what I was asking. I think it might have been stolen in the scuffle there. I can't tell on our curses window because actually I don't see it. It might be on the bottom. Yeah, it's down below. It's down below the bottom of the screen, so I can't actually see like whether it's. She still has telepathy. Well, the Orb of Fate doesn't give telepathy; it gives warning. So if she still has warning, then we know that. If she still has warning, then we know that she has the Orb of Fate. But if you go to the planes without the Orb of Fate, you're in a lot of trouble. But Shadow Rider also in a bad position here, getting cornered by some hill orcs. And she was running into some unseen stuff earlier. Wait, oh, 30? Okay. Yeah, there's a 2 on the screen right there. I think I see it. Oh, my mouse is also on the screen. Yeah, I can move it around. Yeah, there's a 2 right there. She has the Orb of Fate. It's taking huge damage because of that low AC, I think. And it's not even that low, so as you can imagine, it's exceptionally difficult to run with Wizard or some squishy roll that has a lot less HP. That's how much HP she took with like 142 hits. So like on the old world record when I was running with Wizard, like a similar group of nasties like brought me to life saving after throwing like one potion. Oof, Shadow Rider taking another death. Let's see what happened there. Killed by gas spores explode. It looks like a little bit of a careless death there. But yeah, since the Ring of Conflict and the Bugle now affect different targets per se, I think that using potentially like using the Bugle becomes a lot more effective against low MR monsters, while against high MR monsters, a conflict is effective. So, oh, the Shocking Spear explodes in the spot in thin air. Your Ring of Conflict turns to dust and vanishes. Ooh, so yeah, this race is definitely not settled yet. Also broke two wands of teleportation. So yeah, really, really crippling. Didn't see that coming, I guess. But yeah, that's really bad news. Broke the last of her good wands. What did I tab away and miss? She broke a bunch of wands. Didn't break the wand of death though, so game is not quite over. That inventory clipped on the right is hanging like a sleeve of wizard. My bad, 80 on. I'm sorry. Shocking spears are epic content. Yeah, pure skill. Like you just didn't react to the shocking spear. Haha, you're such a bad gamer. All right. I really don't like that. I really don't like that change. I think there should be some way to protect at least the rings that you have in main inventory, if not you want. Otherwise, you have to micromanage it. Otherwise, you have to like micromanage it a lot, and you have to. It's just really frustrating that there's no way to defend against that. Wait, do shocking spheres hit main inventory rings even with resistance now? Yes, anti-gulp. Also welcome. It's pretty terrible. They ported the X NetHack change where they actually explode now, but they didn't port X NetHack's item destruction nerf. So here we are. Your brain is eaten. Your last thought fades away. No. Wow. What the heck? Wait. What? What happened here? What happened here? I gotta see this. Hold on, I'm pulling up the dump log right now. Yeah, that was a AOL. I thought she had six. I thought she had eight int though. Did she have the helmet off or something? It was a mind flare in a corridor. Aoi attacked carelessly, I think. Yeah, but the helmet should block 90% of those hits, so you shouldn't die in like 2 rounds. What happened there? Yeah, she removed the helmet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I saw that. That's real bad. Looks like Shadowrider still has a chance then. Also looks like I'm not going to be leaving early anytime. But she took off the Blessed Greased Rust Proof plus 5 Helm of Opposite Alignment. Like I mean, I know you would be scared of Archons, but I think it would have been a good idea to leave that on, maybe, or at least realize that you weren't wearing it. But yeah, I see it. Looks like a summon nasties to a mastermind flare, and after that to a kill. But that's a rip. That would have been a really good. That would have been a PB too, something around like 140 ish. At the rate that she was going. 6 intelligence. Yeah, six down to 0 is going to be pretty fast since if you get meleeed at 3, you lose. So and the mastermind flare gets 5 tentacle attacks. So five, count them 5. So you're gonna get brain sucked to nothing, especially if all of them hit. Aoei's back in. Thanks, amateur hour. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, that's something that happened. Yeah, that does bypass the amulet. One of the few deaths that does bypass the amulet of life. So it doesn't restore destroyed brains apparently. But oh dang, that was quite the throw there. That was quite the throw there. I wasn't expecting the game to end that way. I was thinking like maybe she would get like edged out on an HP on Astro or something like that. But wow, that's really really unfortunate. But even having lost a Ring of Conflict, that was still certainly winnable. But now things are equal again. And Shadow Rider still has a chance. So we're gonna run for another hour, and if someone's close to ascending in another hour and a half, I won't cut it off. But if no one's close to ascending at 3 hours, then I will stop the race. Every once in a while, NetHack has to remind us how utterly brutal it is. I know, like imagine like in other speed games, like you make a mistake, oh man, you lost like 3 minutes, right? Like that really sucks, but you can keep going in a race. But like you can make a mistake in that hack, and then all of a sudden, yeah, you just lost your entire run. Like roll a new character. And that I guess it's especially bad because of how long that hack is too. So usually runs in that hack are longer than an hour at least. Stream until someone ascends. I did try that. I did try that in the first Aoi versus Steno race. In NetHack, late game, 98% of threats aren't really threats, and you can press keys fast, but that remaining 2%, you really need to pay attention. Mind flares, anything with cockatrices, amulet getting stolen, shocking spheres, that kind of stuff. Yep. Like with the shocking spheres changes, like now that I'm thinking about it, like I don't know if I want to carry anything in main inventory during the ascension run like that. It's just way too risky. Like just carry it like in Sanctum or something like that, and then like bag everything else because she didn't have like a wand of cancellation. And that's why if I make my 80 on hack, then I'll remove all those 2%. Wait, you're gonna remove cockatrices? How could you? Will 80 on hack also have a shield? Shield's a fun level. I think it has definitely some of those 2% monsters though that you need to watch out for. NOE. Okay, that's actually a serious consideration. That's actually a serious consideration. I think the best single species genocide right now is probably shocking speed. I'll just say that. Shio, I wanted to be unique, but I feel like it's difficult to code anything actually interesting to NetHack. Most monsters are Terminator style walk to player and hit them. I would prefer more interesting behaviors. So yeah, I don't know. I think you did manage to make some pretty interesting monsters in Shield, but for NetHack monsters to be more interesting, there do need to be some AI changes. I agree with that. There are a lot of monsters in other roguelikes like casters that I think like 3.7 does improve on that somewhat though, by making ranged monsters actually attempt to stay away from you, and that makes centaurs a little bit more interesting. This doesn't really apply to enemies with wands, which is good because it would be probably be pretty unfair. But just having more monsters that try to keep their distance, though, like elves and centaurs, for instance, is a step in the right direction, probably. Oh, Umbar, did you think Adion was Bach? That's funny. Bach does drop by here once in a while, so I don't know if he's actually watching today. He may or may not be. I'm working on an AI patch for vanilla right now. Hopefully, can get more interesting behavior eventually. Oh, that's cool. I think you're working on a lot of stuff, aren't you, Antico? Fingers crossed the legendary vomit comet patch gets. I saw that. I saw that. Some guy was like, "Hey, you can vomit on the altar and no one says anything." You know that fits right into NetHack thinks of everything. But I'm gonna be pissed the next time I eat a tripe ration on an altar by accident if that actually gets merged in. I wrote that at literally 2 a.m. Not joking. I woke up the next day and I was like, "Why?" Maybe you should have tried to submit your serious vanilla patches before before you submitted that. Your serious vanilla pull request that is. Okay, well, Shadow Rider is about 11 minutes in. He's in a good spot though. He's the experience level 8 and has quite a bit of HP, so rolled pretty well despite the not maximum constitution. So does need to drop his potions here. It's weird that in that hack you can just drop the items and for the most part, they won't be affected on the ground. They're only affected whenever they're in your bag, which is a little bit weird. Lost a potion of water. Yeah, it literally doesn't matter. It's fine. You can live with losing a potion of water once. Aoi's a little bit farther behind. I think she started over a couple times at this point, so not sure what she's looking for. Maybe got maybe looking for something to try to kickstart her around like a magic lamp or something like that. Uh, yeah, how will you rehydrate now? Queen Xerxes, hello. Yes, today we're running some races. For the people who just showed up, I'll recap. So Ali found a wand. We had a wand of wishing on the very first seed, which is really cool. But Shadow Rider did not get to it, and died at about 30 minutes in after that. And Ali did manage to get to it, but died an hour and a half into a brainlessness while on the Ascension run with the amulet. So absolutely insane. But we're back to some more normal-ish stuff. Both players are in early game right now. I think Shadow Rider is a little bit farther along. He's working through Mine Town right now, so I haven't seen him enter the tool shop or the lighting shop yet. So in this particular variant, there's a guaranteed tool and lighting shop, which makes it better than a lot of other mine towns. It also has a guaranteed ring in a closet that not a lot of people know about for some reason. But yeah, he seems to be price IDing potions too, which is. But it's really disappointing that Aoi did end up losing that round because I would have been PB for her, which is really really so. And also it was a Wand of Wishing run, which you don't get those. You don't get those every day. That's a pretty rare occurrence right there. So Shadow Rider finding the guaranteed chest and also the guaranteed ring. So, but entering the that's a blindfold. It looks kind of like a magic marker, but that's because I think black shows up as a red on here, which while I'm spectating, which is a little bit weird. I don't really know how to explain that. But are we going probably Soko first here? I don't think she had time to visit my town yet. Ideon, I dyed my hair blue at some 2 days ago. At some point, I should do a stream with so people can see my fierce hair. That's some streamer hair you got, Ideon. That's way more fancy than anything I'll ever have. X race. Oh no, I don't have a command. Oh no, I don't have a command for that. I haven't updated. I haven't done anything with Nightbot for a couple months. But hello, Blargo. We're doing a NetHack race today. Racers are aoei and a Shadow Rider. So aoei and Shadow Rider. We've running for an hour and a half. aoei was actually doing really well until her run was cut short by brainlessness. Very close to victory too, but. She's fighting this water demon, almost certainly not going to kill it. Trying to dip for Excalibur there, but it doesn't seem like it went well for her. There's one fountain left. I think she's gonna go up and try the other fountains. Manage to escape somehow. Nice. Are they running the same seeds? So there are a lot of deaths in NetHacks, Blargo. So we've given them a set of seeds that they run through sequentially. So this guarantees that they get like the same like run of mine towns if they happen to die. It's a compromise because if you have like both players on the same seed, if you have both players run the same seed over and over again, then they gradually gain knowledge about the seed, and then you can use that like strategically for like metagaming, and I don't necessarily really like that. So I think this is closer to an organic experience of like what that heck running would be, and without allowing that kind of metagaming, and also it makes sure that one player doesn't get Orc Town like 10 times in a row. But they are on different seeds right now. They've died a different number of times. I think Shadow Rider has died quite a few times. Oh, Queen Xerxes, thanks for the follow. Really cool of you to show up. I've been to a couple. I've been to a few of your NetHack streams, so glad you were able to show up to one of mine. Omega Lol, what? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Stena. Okay, Shadow Rider picking up poison resistance there. He ran into a group of soldiers. One of them had a wand of striking, it looks like. I don't know if he might get some good armor here. He picks up a pair of leather gloves, so that's good. aoei is also heading down towards Mine Town right now. Orc Town, but O equals Omega Lol. Lorimer Town. Did I miss something here? Did aoei just back out of Orc? Did aoei just back out of Orc Town when I was talking about something? I don't think anyone has Orc Town right now. Yeah, aoei is still like way too shallow to have discovered Orc Town, and also I don't think we've seen Orc Town in any of the seeds today, so that's definitely good news. How big is the pool of seeds? We have 20 seeds. Don't worry, they'll never run through all of them without going through all the time. So we're only gonna run for 3 hours, or unless someone gets like really close to ascending, then I'll run. But see, this one isn't Orc Town. I don't remember what this one is called, but it's also a decent. It's also a decent. It's also a decent mine town. It has a food shop, a tool shop. So the ones with the tool shops are particularly good. You can get markers and stuff there. Yeah, I know. I'm here to learn, but it's so hard to keep up. It can be kind of hard to keep up in these speedrun races, definitely. But the two things that they're doing, they're going to complete Mine Town. They're going to go to Mine Town. They're going to look for good stuff, and they're also going to go to Sokoban. So we'll see what happens. I think Shadow Rider is leaving Mine Town right now, probably heading towards Sokoban. He's level 8, so he probably has Excalibur now. Yeah, he definitely does have Excalibur. So he also has an Elven Mithril coat. Not wearing his small shield, but still has a decent AC right now. 33 Zork mid leather armor. That's probably good. I think you saw that in aoei's shop, right? Or Stella's shop. That's the name she's going by on her account. But yeah, that's probably like +2 or something. Yep. Usually players play a dwarf Valkyrie on this Trixies. It's the easiest and most consistent role to do this. Wizards are also viable for speedrunning, but they're so inconsistent and it takes like way more skill than I have to actually play them. So I don't know. It's really really difficult because they have a very low health, and Valkyrie obviously has health in spades. So easiest. I mean, yeah, Valkyrie is the easiest. It's very hard. It's hard. I think if you're going for like strictly safety strats, Barbarian is more consistent than Valkyrie because Barbarian doesn't die to killer bees. Valkyrie. Yeah, Umpire's right. Dwarf Valkyrie has great HP. Dwarves, it's because of Dwarf in general. Dwarf has really good stat caps, and that allows them to potentially start with up to 20 Constitution. So looks like aoei had to step out for a minute there. TF Richards 92 speedrun with the same seed. Right now they're not on the same seed, but they go through the same list of seeds. So I think a Shadow Rider has died more than aoei so far, so they might have diverged a little bit. Like I said, this is a little bit of a compromise to starting on the same. They did start on the same seed, and then after that, they move on to the next seed. Cool. It would be funny now if monsters appeared for Shadow. Whenever he was stripping to try and get past the boulder. It's possible. The Sokoban levels are really small, and the monster generation rate stays the same. So I feel like in Sokoban, it's way easier to run into monsters. You feel like you run into monsters a lot faster that way. Anti-goal, but plus Lord Surtur is kind of a pushover. I don't know about that. He's killed me at least once. Not the easiest quest in Nemesis. Not completely hard. But I think he's one of the easier ones. He doesn't have any special ability. I can't believe how fast Shadow Rider is doing that. He has about a 10-minute Sokoban time, which is alright. We've done like Sokoban and Mines races before, and the world record for that is around like 8 minutes. Sokoban can be done really, really quickly. I was gonna stream NetHack, but I saw Luxie was live, and I know I couldn't compete. Well, don't think of it that way. Well, maybe if you start your stream later, I might be able to raid you. Usually, I can't find anyone to raid after these, so I would really appreciate it actually. There's a streamer called Disperse that I love watching. Swap Master Kane with Lord Surtur to spice things up a bit. Okay, Anti Gulp, you gotta tell me how far you are with that NetHack randomizer because I kind of want to see Master Kane in the quest. Just saying. TF Richards 92. I haven't seen him live yet. Also, do you take a luck penalty for going through the pits? No, that's not cheating. You can just skip the first level that way, and not a lot of people know about that for some reason. But yeah, you can't actually fall below the first Sokoban level. Master Kane but he's a giant monk. That's funny. Um, but yeah, Shadow Rider's on the third level of Soko right now. Aoi's still in mines, probably trying to leave at this point. Explore having a little bit of a hard time with the Dark Mines level there. It's not cheating, but it still feels like cheating. Hey, look, speedrunning is all about skipping things, and there's very few things we can actually skip in NetHack. You can see us doing literally every single optional branch here. I know it kind of bothers, I guess it kind of bothers me a little bit as a speedrunner, you can, there are a lot, in trying to do like safety strats, you don't actually want to skip these optional branches because they can give you a lot of good stuff, so. Like Thari Drow, I don't have a hosting notification yet because I didn't know people actually did. I didn't know people still did that. I was like prepared for like raids and stuff. But regardless, I saw that. Thank you for the host. Stupid monsters behind rocks. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine though. He should be able to solve this. Someone open a GitHub issue so Power gives the Soko ban penalty. Oh, don't you dare! You would never do that to me. Not my precious pit skip on Soko 1. You know what? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because the world record doesn't even do that. And 80 on hack, Sokoban penalties will be removed, and first level has a bunch of wands of striking. Solving it the correct way gives you penalty. See, that's more like it. That's more like it. That's what I want to see in vanilla. That's the worst. I love Soko, but the monsters behind boulders suck. It does suck, but if you have like an attack wand, you can reach them from behind the boulder. You can also reach. You also have to throw like daggers and stuff behind the boulder too. So as a Valkyrie, I think like on a non-speed run, you would be carrying a lot of daggers. But Aoi also in Sokoban, going to level 2. She actually has 2B, so easier here. I think 2B takes like a minute. I want to say. Oh, look, Shadow Rider got another monster behind him. See how he deals with this. There's a bunch of weapons on the ground from those orcs earlier that he could. Don't throw Excalibur. Don't throw Excalibur. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. Okay. If you throw Excalibur and the monster is standing on the hole, you're whenever you push a boulder in, the boulder's gonna fill the hole with Excalibur, and you have to take Excalibur out of it. I still want to replace Sokoban with Tetris. Oh, I'd actually dig that. Give me my luck bonus for getting a T spin. That would be funny. Peaceful Unicorn is the worst behind his Soko boulder. Yeah, I remember one of the runners at some point, like on the stream, actually using polymorph. I think it was Aoi, actually using polymorph to get rid of both the boulder and the peaceful co-aligned unicorn. So, but I think he might have messed up a little bit here. There's still that boulder in the corridor there that he didn't push in all the way. So. But Aoi finishing a 2B without a hitch. She has AC 2, so pretty poor armor for going into Circle Band at this point. Let's look at what she has. Oh, she has Speed Boost. She'll be fine. Already has a good bag too, so I expect uh, I expect everything will be fine there. Ooh, Shadow Rider found a Wraith. Yeah, that takes him to level 10. It's not too impactful because you can pretty easily get to level 10. As you can see, like level 10 only requires like somewhere around like 5k EXP. But yeah, he messed up Sokoban badly enough that he's going to need to break that boulder. So I think he's like gathering up his stuff. But yeah, the more impactful levels to gain are for going from level 12 to 13 and 13 to 14 because the level 13 requires 40k and level 14 requires 80k, so that takes quite a lot. I think he went back for the Schools of Earth, so he's gonna cheat his way through this last bit, if I'm not mistaken. That was a really bad place to use that Scroll of Earth. He should have walked over to where he should have walked over to where the hole was and then read the Scroll of Earth that way. So that way it makes the boulders in a less like annoying position. Why not 14 to 15? You only need to be level 14 to enter the quest, Blargo, and that's wait, hold on, new speed strat. Polymorph into a giant, then chuck boulders into the pits from far away. Actually, anti-gulp, I've tried that and it doesn't work. And it's not because the giant form isn't able to pick up the boulders and do it like effectively. It's because like you throw the boulders too far and they just end up like way over the holes. So like in 2B, like standing all the way to the left, I was missing most of the holes since you throw it like all the way to the other side of the room. Anyway, that doesn't work. But yeah, Shadow Rider finding another monster here, and that's gonna suck, especially after he lowered his luck so much. He's gonna have a hard time hitting it from behind the boulder. And now he's actually caught up by now. So yeah, he's wasted a lot of time on this. So Aoi's actually doing a Sokoban a lot better than him right now. You can just drop them next to the hole, move one square, and then push it in. I guess you do take massive luck. You do take massive luck penalties for taking the boulders inside Sokoban, but you could also like take boulders from somewhere else, which I think doesn't incur a luck penalty. Just threw Excalibur twice, lol. Well, I guess it works. Okay, I think what he's want to do here is raise the door. Okay, that's smart. That's smart. But Aoi's also cleaning up Sokoban here. He picks up the Scare Monster and a Pyramidal Amulet. That's the Amulet of Reflection. Cool. I think Aoi's going to get a bag of holding because the probabilities for getting a bag of holding or an amulet of reflection are skewed in this version based on which version of the puzzle you have. So amateur hour, you can just drop them next to the hole, move one square, and then push it in. But that's not necessarily as fun as throwing the boulders in, attempting to throw the boulders into the hole, which was what I was trying. I was kind of disappointed that that didn't work the way that I expected. I think it's specifically because they weigh zero when you're a giant. I don't know, how does a giant push a boulder? Well, I would imagine that they kind of roll it along the floor, like you know how you roll like a basketball or something along the floor. That's how it happens in my head, at least. Oh, okay. So Aoi killing a cockatrice behind that boulder doesn't have gloves, so just gonna leave that. So finds a one of slow monster. Raises the door like Shadow Rider. Looks like a pretty trivial zoo. She can just fight through a lot of the easier monsters there. Okay, bag called Bag 100. Yeah, she already has that, so she already had a bag of holding the entire time. A bit of a waste of time, I guess, but doing Sokoban is always worth it, I think, for the rings and the wands and stuff like that. Oh, you were asking how you push the boulder when. Okay, yeah, you only. I don't know. Can you? I don't know if you can actually M move onto boulders, but I think you can. Whenever the boulder is stuck, yeah, you move onto it instead of trying to move the boulder. Okay, M move is an evil hack edition. It might be a variant thing in general. Not sure about that. I've never played a giant and fork or any of those variants that introduced giants, fork or grunt. So. Hey, I heard evil hack makes boulders stack, so I think that's pretty cool. Owie almost dying there, but yeah, I better pay attention again before I start getting sidetracked about random NetHack stuff. But yeah, both runners are really close right now. Shadowrider going back to D1 for some reason. He's trying to convert this altar in D1, which is a little bit easier said than done. Ooh, Owie found grease. Yes, that would prevent deaths like the last one from happening. Grease is really good to find early game too, because you can grease your longsword and that prevents it from rusting whenever you're dipping for Excalibur. Ooh, but random net hack stuff is best net hacks. Yeah, but I also have a slight responsibility to tell you what's going on the screen. There's also that. Is it like a bacon grease? I don't know. I don't know, Ariane. You can grease a pancake, and then after that, you can still eat it. So I would assume it would be like, I would assume it is. It isn't like car grease. If you know what I'm saying. A greased pancake sounds like my attempts at butter. I picture it more like lard. Yeah, apparently it's like really, really slippery because if you like get grease on your hands, like you can't even hold onto your sword. So. I don't know if Shadow Rider was able to pick up Holy there. I think that was his only. He did manage to pick up Holy, so I think he's going to leave. He's going to leave now, and Awie's actually a little bit ahead of him in terms of exploring. So they do have different Sokoban prizes, but besides that, I don't think the runs are too different. Aoi has worse AC, obviously, but she has speed boots, so I think she's pretty stacked. And he has slightly better armor class. Besides that, oh, he has a magic lamp that he's not using. I think I would use that for something here. Whether it's a bag of holding or maybe Gray Dragon Scale Mail is probably the safe choice here. I think you really do want to go with the safe choice. Like, so, okay, yeah, he's going for the wish right now. Your lamp called Magic glows with a light blue aura, so we'll see what he decides to get there. If he gets the wish is only 80%. Okay, he gets the wish. You may wish for an object. Blessed Grease, fix +3, Gray Dragon, Scale Mail. Okay, pretty standard, pretty standard. So that should help with some that should help his AC quite a bit. Yeah, brings him to AC -7. So, like I said, that's quite enough for the rest of the game. So I don't expect that he'll need much more. But and while he was getting holy water, Aoi has been exploring the lower levels. She doesn't have anything to complete castle with those. Both runners looking pretty even right now. Oh, okay. Shadow Rider discovering a shop with telepathy. It's pretty important to have telepathy in while you're speedrunning because it lets you like isolate levels that can potentially be interesting versus levels that are just death traps. For example, if you see a bunch of sea monsters, there isn't any loot in those levels and like swamps and things like that, so it's not really worth it. I have recently discovered that the cockatrice net the statues in like cockatrice nests actually seem to contain stuff other than spellbooks. So I don't know if that makes them worth exploring, but I think that makes them slightly more worthwhile than I thought they were. Shadow Rider with the lucky grounded chest trap. Actually, the message that it gives you doesn't have anything to do with the trap that would have activated. It's just like a totally random message. So just because it says that the electric charge was grounded doesn't necessarily mean he would have triggered an electric trap. Because sometimes it tells you that the explosive charge didn't go off, and it's simply not possible for you to get an explosive charge in the first place if your luck is high enough. Anyway, I'm just being nitpicky about details again, so you can ignore me if you want. Throne room, yes. We'll see if he gets a wish here. There's an Elven King there. He's sitting on the throne, so that's a pretty tough opponent. Like Elf Lords, they have two weapon attacks. Oh, I think something helpful for NetHack would be if running this game and actually explaining what's going on is to have like things on the screen that show how hard like each monster hits. Yeah, Elf. Where is Elven King? Okay, yeah, Elven King actually has the same attacks as the Elf Lord, 2d4 times weapon 2d4 times 2. So yeah, they have two weapon attacks. What kind of throne room just has all the people sleeping on the floor nicely organized? Adion, that reminds me of that one picture on that guy posted on Reddit about the leprechaun halls where the leprechauns are all just standing in their T posing. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just imagine it being the same way except with throne room monsters. Shadow Rider also finding a beehive. I think I have in my RC5 auto pickup on for a royal jelly, so you should be able to pick up most of it, but he decides not to, I guess. I haven't seen that one LMFAO. Yeah, it's really funny. Adion just posted it. Fortunately, I allow links in chat, so that hasn't backfired on me yet. I guess waiting for an adventurer gets really boring. Shadow Rider picking up a C invisible but doesn't get another wish. I think the odds of getting a wish is actually really slim. I guess not too surprising there. Meanwhile, Aoi's on D18. Let's see what equipment she has. Yeah, she's using telepathy pretty well to skip through a level, so productive. Oh, she actually has a harp, so Aoi actually does have a harp, so that actually helps. That actually helps her out quite a lot because she can do the castle like whenever she wants. You can see that centaur trying to keep his, but she's actually in really good shape and definitely leading here, especially with that harp. Though Shadow Rider is finding like a million thrones. Okay, so Shadow Rider running into a flaming sphere and losing all of his holy water and like he doesn't have a bag yet, so that can be avoided unfortunately. Mini Mogul, morning all. May the best hacker win. Just gonna lurk. All right, thanks for the lurk, Mini Mogul. Thank you for dropping by. So far the race is going well. It's a little more even now, but Aoi is actually taking the lead again. So I don't think Shadow Rider is too far behind. If he does skip some of these levels, I think he does like enjoy. There we go. He skipped one of those levels. There's not really anything there on D14 or not. Okay, he's going back to clear it out. But I do consider that he's pretty well equipped. Pretty more. He's more well equipped than Aoi is. He has AC -12. So for context, most normal NetHack runs usually win with around AC -20, -25. So that's quite a lot of armor. But most of the speed runs are going to win with AC -10 or lower. So in the last game, Aoi had AC -7. So that's pretty normal. Pretty normal for a speed run. But visiting the rogue level here, I actually kind of hate the rogue level. The rogue level has some really weird rules, and I'm not sure of all of them. I think like it has forces enemies that spawn to be capital letters, and it also prevents them from leaving corpses. So. Or having equipment for that matter, which is kind of annoying whenever you get an Aliax on the whenever you get an Aliax on the rogue level because it's not going to have a shield of reflection. Some variants just remove it, and I don't blame. I guess like on one hand, it's kind of a cool tribute though. I mean, if it were just the appearance and not like if not like the rules of the game literally just change. Wow, but Shadow Rider finding like what the fifth throne room? That's pretty insane. So maybe he's gonna or something. Hopefully he gets a wish so he can get a pick up a bag of holding. My partner thought the game was glitching the first time she hit the real level. I thought the same back when I was learning. I don't blame you. It looks pretty awful, especially on the tiles version. Like, I think it doesn't even like render. I was doing it. I was playing the tiles version earlier. I don't think it even so. I was pretty annoying. But Shadow Rider got the Geno on Shocking Spheres, which is really good, so you don't have to deal with them for the rest of the game. If you can pick up anything at this speed, more power to you. I can't follow along. Well, if there's anything you wanna, if you there's anything you wanna ask me about or like what's going on, like I'll happily. I have lots of time to talk. Luxia's shocking sphere PTSD. It hasn't even happened to me yet, and I already have PTSD about it. Shadow Rider genocided shocking spheres. Wait, why not something nasty like liches? We're gonna use a blessed scroll of genocide to take out all four liches at once, all four forms of liches at once. So a blessed genocide will remove an entire class of monster instead. So that's the reason why liches weren't genocided there. But the other reason is the reason that Umbari said with shocking sphere explosions destroy wands rings. This can't be defended against by reflection or any other means. So yeah, you want to genocide them. Aoi seems to be AFK on a level below Medusa. I think she seems to have found a graveyard, so that's a really good find actually because she might be able to use the Wraith corpses to level up to 14. Yeah, you okay? This is kind of ridiculous. How many throne Shadow Rider has found? He's like he's found like 6 or 7 throne rooms at least. Has anyone been counting? Oh yikes! Is that new in 3.7? Yeah, it was committed only a few days ago. We're playing on the development version. I think it's cool to do speedruns on the dev version, even though it's not necessarily stable yet. I like supporting the development. I think like by playing it, you do support the development of way. So I think it's cool. But like sorry, Joe, I met my first lich yesterday. I immediately blessed genocide after that encounter. Oh, they're not that scary necessarily. They're just really, really annoying. Liches and master liches are horrible. Yes, that is true. Shadow Rider finding some barracks now. I've been finding all kinds of special rooms, so maybe he has got a really good chance of getting a bugle from that. There's 6 in there, so that's like 2 bugles expected value. He's gonna kill all the soldiers first though, to prevent them from waking up. Aoi's almost getting killed here though. I don't know what she. It would be best not to be killed here. I think she just has low. I think she just has like terrible AC, and probably the reason why. Okay, so I don't know if Shadow Rider got the bugle or not. He did kill like all the sergeants. So I don't. I think he may have gotten unlucky and didn't pick up the bugle. Let's see. He's got an uncursed horn called Not Food. Okay, so he's actually fine. That got picked up using auto pickup, so I just completely missed that. I have horns on auto pickup because they're fairly rare, and the odds that you get another one are pretty. But yeah, the two players are pretty much neck and neck here. We've got Aoi at the castle right now, and we've got Shadowrider coming down to Medusa too, and he has the means to do castle, and he's better equipped than Aoi. So we'll see how well he does here. Yeah, he's gonna far look that Minotaur. Yes, that's the Minotaur Shadowrider. I hope you didn't think it was an Etten or something like that. But hey, both players now at Castle. This is pretty exciting. He greased his blindfold. I find that kind of funny. But there's a Minotaur over there. He's a little bit wary of it, as he should be. You really don't want to. You don't really don't want to melee that guy right now. Even with AC minus 12, I think he's learned his lesson about that. I think he might have some. Oh crap! I think he might have some offensive wand. Yeah, he does have sleep wand, so I think he should be able to dispose of it pretty. Okay, so Aoi doing the brute force method here, guessing the pass two. See if Shadow Rider also uses the same. A 3 gears turn, right? So yeah, both players literally at the exact point, same point, at the exact same point in the game, with pretty similar equipment too. Well, not pretty similar equipment. Aoi has a bag of holding. Shadow Rider does not, and Shadow Rider has Grey Dragon Scale Mail and the Amulet of Reflection. So overall, he's doing a lot better. But they both get the drawbridge open. Luxie knocking over his mic with excitement. Aggravate monsters. Yeah, so there's a demi lich in there. I don't know who got aggravate monsters. I don't think it should be a big deal. You can kill most everything with the drawbridge and it just fast as long as the barracks haven't been. Shadow Rider getting down to pretty low HP though, so I would back off and heal up. Yep, that's a really. But yeah, so there's been a recent change in 3.7 that makes liches grudge other living monsters like soldiers because the liches can actually touch them and change them into zombies. So obviously the soldiers don't like that. So that makes them fight each other, and so that means that by the time you get into the castle, sometimes the liches are already dead, which is just pretty cool. Shadow Rider got the Demi Lich. Uh, yeah, that invisible stalker can also cross the drawbridge in a way that it does because it can walk over the water. The weird thing about Zorns is that although they can walk in the water, they a lot of the times they choose not to, which is a little weird. I don't know why they do that. But both of them have cleared out the castle pretty well. Got two more Zorns there. He's at really low health. You should be careful. But Shadow Rider pulling ahead, going into the castle watchtowers. We'll see if it has a wand of wishing or not. Stalkers can fly since they're air elementals. Okay, yeah, I don't know the history about stalkers, and I don't know the history about stalkers in D&D. I can neither confirm nor deny that statement. Twiggets, TIL, you can put the drawbridge up down to crush everyone. Yeah, the drawbridge is the strongest weapon in NetHack. Yep, Shadow Rider finding the Wand of Wishing in the last captured watchtower that he checks. Maple wand called Wish, and he pulls ahead of Aoi. Stalkers are indeed elementals hailing from the plane of air. I play way too much D&D. No, 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 no. That sounds like something that I should know. So good that I know. It's good that I know it now. So Shadow Rider, first thing, he's picking up a bag of holding and some holy charge. But Aoi also finding the wand of wishing, so right on his tail. We'll see what he chooses to do now. He's XP level 12 from all that drawbridge grinding. Aoi is only XP level 11, so he needs two more levels. He needs two more levels to be able to attempt the quest at this point. I think at this point we will go over 3 hours, but since both players are doing so well, we're gonna go ahead and keep going with it. I'm not super tired yet, though I may need a break later. Get some water, maybe. Maybe I don't know. Aoi just lost a whole bunch of intelligence from sitting on that throne. That's no, not Aoi. Shadow Rider just lost a huge amount of intelligence from sitting on that throne. So yeah, he's down to int 3, so that's really really terrible. He's gonna have to he's gonna have to restore that in some way because otherwise he's gonna have a nasty time in Gehenna. Or he can just walk into a mind flare and just like die. Okay, so he's eating an egg to try and get confused here. So reading a scroll of teleportation while you're confused will allow you to level teleport. So that's definitely what he's going for. He level teleports back to 24, so that's good. He's explored most of these levels, so he should have no problem getting back to the quest level. The problem is actually restoring his stats. Like here I would try to find an altar and then pray on it, and then that would most likely restore your stats. Okay, Shadow Rider is switching over from the horn to the bugle. I think the bugle might actually be a bit lighter and it has slightly different properties. But like the bugle is always a cool item to find. But it's funny that in NetHack, one of the strongest items, like the bugle, the bag, the magic marker, they're all like totally mundane and they're not like a super magical fantasy, whatever. Would unicorn horn work for the stats? They've actually changed that, Xerxes. So the unicorn horn was considered OP for a very long time because of its ability to increase your stats back to the baseline. So they've removed it in the late. In 3.6.6, the version that you're playing, I think it's still quite powerful, and you would be able to use that for that purpose. But hey, I think the change is good. The change is good for the game, I think, because like I said, it's more of a like others have said, it's more of a buff to restore ability than nerf to the unicorn horn. But one really important change in 3.7 that I really do support is that they've removed amnesia pretty much completely. So the scroll of amnesia no longer has a bad effect whenever you read it. It actually has a good effect that lets you forget some of your skills, so you can like skill and like stuff like that. So that's really cool. And whenever a mind flare sucks your brain, you no longer forget maps and items. So that's actually really impactful in like, and it makes like these speedruns more consistent because if you get amnesia, you're gonna lose like 10 minutes. But yeah, Aoi, I think she's going back to check out this graveyard, so hopefully she might be able to get us a couple. What ends up happening? I think Shadow Rider is trying to get his luck up a little bit to try and try to get the prayer boon. Try to get the prayer boon while sitting on the altar for his stats. But it is really really important that the stats get restored. Otherwise, I think you only have a 3 in 8 chance of activating the Orb of Fate, which means you're going to use almost twice as much. You're going to use almost twice as much charges on the Orb. You're going to run out of resources pretty quickly. I've got to head out to D&D. Thanks for running all these races, and good luck to Aoi and Shadow Rider. Later, Antigold. Thanks for dropping by. All right, I don't know if aoei had reflection. Oh, Medusa almost killed her. Whoa, 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 that was crazy. Wow, she has AC5? What is she doing? What is she doing? Holy crap. Getting a little bit complacent there, huh? Jeez. Yeah, she went down to 5 HP from fighting Medusa. That's crazy. Yeah, don't do that. That almost gave me a heart attack. We need this to stay a close race. Ah, I forgot what's the state of the race. Where have you been finally, Craig? Oh, welcome. So both players are pretty much even. They've just both completed the castle. Shadow Rider's trying to get his intelligence back. He lost a bunch of intelligence from sitting on a throne, so he's alter camping a little bit. This should end up working out well for him, I think. But yeah, she's taking a lot of damage even from these ravens, so needs to be really careful. She could have picked up some body armor from one of those soldiers earlier. I don't know what happened to her body armor. Maybe she got destroy armored or something. Like I wasn't paying that much attention to that. I might have missed it. Same number of deaths. No, Shadow Rider's taken significantly more deaths, but aoei died. So you just got here, right? So aoei died in an hour and 30 in after getting a wand of wishing on PB pace by getting mind sucked. So and then after that we went back to even. But I was really hyped at the beginning to do a run, to not do a run, but to commentate on some wand of wishing runs because that's the first time this has ever happened in in a race where the first seed had a wand of wishing. I thought that was like pretty insane. But that didn't end up happening because Shadow Rider died on the first seed before seeing the WoW, which is really unfortunate. But Shadow Rider managed to fix it in, so he's heading back up. He's heading back up right now. I think aoei's doing some dilution on Medusa's island. I don't know if she has a way to cross back. I don't even know if she has a teleport. Scroll a teleport to try and leave. I see her eating a royal jelly, so maybe trying to get confused. Yeah, she has a bunch of unlabeled scrolls, so it's not really gonna help her. Yeah, she's gonna walk back over Medusa. That's gonna cost her some time. Meanwhile, Shadow Rider was able to confused teleport to get back to the dungeon by through level teleportation. So yeah, in back to seven. Seven isn't great either, but at least you have a 7 and 8 of activating it rather than a 3 and 8 chance. And also, you don't need to worry about brainlessness quite as much. But remember, do wear your helmet. Even if it's a helm of opposite alignment, you still want to wear it, or at least replace it with something if you're not going to wear it. It's quite important to have a helmet. On the Ascension run, I think it would actually be optimal not to wear the helm of opposite. But Shadow Rider pursuing some safety strats here gets a donation for 2 more points of AC, so not super impactful, but that'll help a little bit. But aoei's still at AC5, so really that kind of sucks. He has a ring of polymorph control, so that's good. If she has some way to polymorph herself, that would help a lot, but I don't know if she does. Holy wand of polymorph. Well, that's one way of getting a way to polymorph herself. Let's see what she does with it. She's relying a lot on poly self strategies or polymorphing herself into different monsters. So hoping to get reflection out of Perseus here. Just gets levitation though. That sucks. She is AC -5 right now, Craig, because of the Mastermind Flare form, but a base AC of 5. So not a great situation overall. Hopefully, she's able to find some good armor and able to find some better armor in the dungeon. Maybe even pick up a Grey Dragon Scale Mail before. I was gonna say, but maybe even pick up Grey Dragon Scale Mail before entering the quest, even. So Okay, Shadow Rider also doing some inventory management. He's going for some enchant weapon. Why is Ali not Aoi? Sorry, it's a little bit confusing. So Shadow Rider is on the left, and Stella or Aoi is on the right. So um, so why is she not using a wish for a GDSM? That's because wishes are pretty valuable in the speedrun, and you don't want to use an entire wish on Grey Dragon Scale Mail. The best thing to do is to use a scroll of genocide to generate gray dragons and then kill them for their scales. So that way you get genocide and you get the gray dragon scale mail all in one wish. So yeah, ideally that's what happens. And this is from when I was still playing on NAO. I kind of wrote the I wrote a little if you care to read it, I wrote a little strategy guide on speedrunning. Hold on, let me link it. But in 366, you're often pretty strapped for resources because in 366 you couldn't use the Orb of Fate to map Gehenna. So you would need an extra wish for a magic marker just to map Gehenna. But since then that's changed, but I think saving wishes still saves time overall. So here, I'll link the little guide that I wrote. Yeah, there it is. Okay, but Aoi is reverse genociding some wraiths. She is I don't know if she managed to reach level 14 yet, but she used a cursed scroll of genocide, and a cursed scroll of genocide will create the monster that you specify instead of removing it from the game. So she made some wraiths. I think she's going over to check with the Norn now, so pulling ahead of Shadow Rider a little bit. Funny, Shadow Rider has a +5 cloak of magic. I wonder if he found it like that. I don't think so. But Aoi's making a lot of progress on the quest right now, while Shadow Rider is still going through his inventory, so she's definitely ahead at this point. We'll see what equipment both of them have. Let's see. Shadow Rider has teleport control. He also has enchant armor, so he can bring his armor class even higher. I don't know if I would have enchanted that dwarvish iron helm, because the helm of brilliance would have brought him to above 8 intelligence, which is actually kind of important. Yeah, Aoi dropped the Mastermind Flare for him. She's gonna have to become a Mastermind again, I think. Making some Gray Dragons. Oh, this is really dangerous. She doesn't have any protection at all, and she's most likely going to die if she stays there. So I don't know what she's doing. Like that was a really bad spot. She's not even scaring them with a bugle or anything. So I think that's a particularly needs to like poly self back into she was hoping for reflection there from one of the amulets. Okay. But yeah, that was a really, really, really dangerous place to be. So lost like you can see that she lost like 67 health right away just from those dragon. And yeah, they hit pretty hard at AC5, so fully fixed +3 silver, polished silver shield. Okay, going for a shield of reflection. Okay, so yeah, she managed to put it on and is pretty much safe now. The dragons are really slow, but down to 30 hit points in that fire giant. She's getting nailed though because of her low AC. Needs to polymorph back into a master mind flare, I think. Otherwise, it's going to be a really tough situation. Okay, let's see how she chooses to deal with it. I don't think she's quite necessarily dead yet, but Coming pretty close. I don't know why she chose to reverse genocide dragons there. There are a lot better places to do that. Doing well, thanks. Doing some NetHack themes art while I tried to learn from this race. Oh, that's cool. I always love seeing a NetHack themes art. I don't think there's very much of it. All right, so Aoi's actually using a conflict here, I think, because the gray dragons are fighting each other. They're not fighting. I think the dragons are they're kind of high level, so they're not like super low levels. I want to say they're like level 12 at the high, or like level 10. But I just did some. Thank you very much, Craig. Very impressive. But Aoi managed to pick up the gray dragon scales, and she's off. But Shadow Rider has managed to catch up to her in the meantime while he was doing that. And yeah, this is the closest race we've had in a while. But Aoi really needs to enchant that armor, otherwise she's going to be in some real trouble. Especially since the conflict nerf. Since the conflict nerf, this gets quite a bit more difficult. I wonder why Aoi isn't using her polyform anymore. I think she still has charges in that one polymorph though. Okay, yeah, Shadow Rider showing up at the final level of the quest. We've got on Lord Surtur's. He's in Lord Surtur's lair. AC minus 17, so that's about as stacked as you can get. So we'll see how she manages to we'll see how Shadow Rider how he manages to deal with Lord Surtur here. I think he might be strong enough to actually just take him on one on one. So, but Aoi is almost certainly not. She's even struggling with these fire giants because of her low AC and because of their relatively high level. I think they will hit Aoi most of the time. Gotta think about what she's going to do next. She only has one. She only has two wishes left. So, confused, confused, and still moving around next to lava. That's definitely a wand of sleep for the win. Absolutely. He only has a 50 MR, so I think Shadow Rider was able to take it, huh? Yep. Shadow Rider killed the Lord Surtur while I was not looking at his screen. But he seems to be doing pretty well. And we just need to see Aoi get the kill on Lord Surtur. Might be saving the polyform for Surtur. Well, the Wand of Polymorph comes with 4 to 8 charges, right? So I don't well one thing that I didn't get was why she didn't use dragons or why she didn't use it in the room before that because it would have lasted through that entire time. But here she is. Here she is. She's going through 64 hit points. This is really dicey. So you can levitate over the lava, but to try and dodge Surtur, but the area that you can aggro Surtur from, like somewhere that's like parallel with the drawbridge, right? There's not a good place for you to flee to. You'd have to flee like several squares to get over to where. How neck and neck would you say the runners are presently? I would say that Shadow Rider is about a minute. So this is the closest race that we've had so far. It could go either way from here. Yes, especially since they're on different seeds. I don't know like where they're going to have difficulties. Shadow Rider just fell in some water and blanked half his schools. That's fine. He already knows genocide. He already knows charging. It doesn't really matter at this point. A lot of the scrolls will be more helpful to him with text on them. Oh no. Is something bad happening that I'm unaware of? Looks like Lord Surtur is fighting some of those guys. Oh crap. Okay, so that turned out okay. I think if she gets depolyed though, she's in a lot of trouble. Yep, that's getting depolyed all right. Lord Surtur turns into a Leocrata. Almost killed her anyway, but okay, she has the Orb of Fate. She has the Orb of Fate. That's the only thing that matters. And she needs to teleport out now. But she's been in a pretty rough spot though since I think she doesn't have she has reflection and magic resistance. She's lacking some other items. He'll make a bunch of mapping later. You don't actually need to make mapping. Finally, Craig, you can use the Orb of Fate. So, like I said, one of the biggest hurdles in 3.6 was was actually having to write scrolls of magic mapping to map Gehenna. But here he doesn't actually have to do that. Umpire, I'm gonna assume that you're responding to the Surtur fight and that just really lagged out and on four or something. But yeah, that was that was crazy. Like turning him into a Leocrata and then having him like almost kill you because you have no AC anyway. Yeah, AC5 is really, really rough. We'll see. Like I have ascended with that AC before, but if you're not careful, it's really not fun, especially with a low amount of armor. Not a low, oh, obviously a low amount of armor, but a low amount of HP too. She only has 120 HP. So I'd be a lot more comfortable with like 160 HP or something like that. Something that you would have like if you started as a 20 constitute Valkyrie. So since both players are getting close to Ascension, so I'm not gonna cut it here, even though we're at 3 hours. But yeah, Leocratas do suck, especially if you have literally no damage reduction. But I guess Shadow Rider also has an advantage in that he has a ring of teleport control. He's he's just like blazing through Gehenna right now. Meanwhile, Aoi's just walking back, trying to make the most out of what she has. A little bit of bad luck. A little bit of bad luck for her because I guess the Wand of Wishing for her didn't spawn with too many charges because she only has like 1/1 right now. Both players have pretty good charisma though, so that means that a conflict should be fairly effective for them. Not like some 6 charisma Valkyrie. I think that does make quite a bit of difference. So another stat to scum for if you're really into that. Which I'm not really. I usually just scum for try to get like 18 con or higher, and then I'll be happy with that. I don't think it makes too huge of a difference in the long run though. Well, I got to go before it gets too late for me to start my daily. This has been fantastic. Thanks for hanging around, Queen Xerxes. Race is almost over, but we're gonna hang. I'm gonna hang in there until Ascension, which should be coming up for one of these two players pretty soon. Shadow Rider is about as stacked as he can get, so I don't see him die. I don't see him dying in any way that isn't like completely stupid, like getting brain sucked or cockatrice or something like. Does Hardfought use the head of the 3.7 branch? Yes, it does. It's not always like totally caught up if the commits are too new, but it tries to. So you get to play test, you get to bug test everything right away. Yeah, I still don't want Ascension spoiled for me just yet. Okay, fair enough. That's a good reason. I mean, there's still lots, but keep in mind there's always lots of stuff to discover about NetHack. Like even if you think you know everything, I learn new things about NetHack all the time. Like even like and other like super seasoned players do too. I think. Nice to see that charisma isn't basically just for show like it used to be. Yeah, it's actually that's like one use for it, but level also matters. So if you get a high level, it kind of supersedes it a little bit. I think Aoi is AFK or something. Yeah, Aoi's AFK'd for a minute. We'll give her some time. When Luxie mentioned the conflict thing, I was like, oh, that's new. Yes, yeah, it's very new. So a lot of times there's stuff that they haven't bug tested yet or aren't going to be in the final game. For a time when we were running races, soldiers. There was a time when soldiers were still picking up the wand of wishing. So that was a while. That was a while ago. And, that's since been fixed. But there are a lot of things here. Like I don't know. There are a lot of things here that I don't know if they'll make it into the final game. There's no guarantees about anything in the current data branch yet. Okay, well, Shadow Rider is in Orcus right now. Definitely, I'm making up for lost time. He's at about an hour and 20 minutes, so I predict this run will be about an hour and 50, or close to an hour and 50 or 2 hours. Do you think the Shocking Spheres will make it? It's really frustrating to me. From what I'm talking, I don't think Pax is. I don't think Pax really cares about the inventory damage, but I'm not really sure what he thinks about it. I might make a PR to try and have some way to protect your ring. It's really frustrating change. I don't mind bagging up one. It feels reasonable to me, but there's a lot of times there isn't a way to protect rings that you're wearing. I really feel that gloves should protect. Really feel that wearing gloves should protect the ring, and that would be like my suggestion for fixing part of the problem. It's just that shock damage is overpowered. It can destroy things that aren't consumables, like rings. Add rubber gloves and make a PR. Oh, did Aoi just quit? Yo, what's going on? Looks like yeah, it looks like Aoi just quit, even though she was doing pretty well in the run, I guess. But there are a few. It looks like it might have been like frustrating to try and get through Gehenna. But yeah, we were having a pretty close race. That's a little bit disappointing, but that's okay. If she has some RL stuff to deal with, we can see we can watch a Shadow Rider finish out his race and finish out his race game and then call it for this. Oop. Okay, so I can make his game fill the screen now. So Aoi has dropped out for now. Hold on. Just give me a second. Transform. There we go. Oh wait, actually, I'm chopping off a bit of the top there, so then I can fix that. But yeah, I hope she does feel better. I think it might be something unrelated with to NetHack, unfortunately. Oh, hello, Disperse. Sorry you missed Owie. It was gonna be a really close race so far, but we're gonna go ahead and let Shadow Rider finish. I think he's only about half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour away from finishing. We'll see how it goes. But hello, Disperse. I guess I'll root for Shadow Rider then if I have to. He's doing pretty good. I don't know if this is gonna be sub 2 hours though, but he's doing pretty good. He's at about what, an hour and 25 minutes. It could still be sub 2 hours, but normally, like, I allow like 20 minutes for the ascension run, and I know that seems like a really long time, but it actually takes quite a while. So, kill root for Rodney. I'll root for Rodney just to be flippant. Uh, I don't know. The guy already has enough wins in my book. So, the timer is above when they started, but they are on a second run. Yeah, they're on a second run already. So, or this is not really the second run. There's been more than 2 runs actually. But yeah, it's whenever the set seed stuff. Whenever they played their first game